Hey everyone. I was watching this morning um, one of Dr. Wolf's little editorial videos that he does every now and then, especially with the show kind of being on a seasonal hiatus until season 9 debuts. He talked about something that I think a lot of us brought up a question for, and that was about the Tree of Harmony, whether or not of how basically it became sentient. You know, how the Tree of Harmony, in a sense, became alive. And he brought up some good theories. One of the theories being that perhaps Chrysalis inadvertently gave the Tree of Harmony life by doing what she did in the season 8 mid-finale, or the mid-season 8 finale, The Mean Six. And if that is the case, then the other thing he brought up was Chrysalis may have kind of created a pathway for her own reformation. In other words, her own redemption, but she just doesn't know it. The reason he brought this up is he also brought up the fact that there were numerous times, apparently, that the main six and even Starlight tried to possibly get Chrysalis to redeem herself, or at least change her ways. But they were unsuccessful. Now, though, it seems that from what Dr. Wolf said, the Tree of Harmony, because of this, may have become sentient because it absorbed the life force of basically the Mean Six, the copies that Chrysalis made from the pictures and a string of hair that she plucked while in disguise of the pony known as Shutterbug from the Main Six. So, he basically theorized that when the Tree of Harmony kind of saved Chrysalis from the Mean Six's betrayal, mostly the dark Twilight Sparkle, that it absorbed the life force of the Mean Six, and thus is the reason why it was able to take on the former Twilight in the episode What Lies Beneath, as well as take on the forms of Rarity and Rainbow Dash, which would make sense. And then he also mentioned how in the season 8 finale, when the Tree of Harmony came to the aid of the student six, the young six, if you will, when it came to the aid of the student six, the young six, that it basically had them glowing, as even one of the students of Twilight School pointed out. Oh, it had them glowing just like the elements. So what he was speculating was basically the same thing a lot of us have been speculating, that maybe the Tree of Harmony was setting up the Student Six with What Lies Beneath, with an episode like what Lies Beneath, and now even the finale, School Rays, as being the next in line. In other words, being the next bearers of the elements. But is that totally true? We don't know. We don't know whether or not that's totally true or it isn't. But it does make a lot of sense. However, there's other speculations as to why the tree could be sentient. One, it could be the fact that, as one person pointed out in a comment, it could be the fact that the tree just over time, throughout the years, throughout the many moons, centuries, if you will, through the magic that was planted into the seed that helped it grow into what it is now, that throughout that time, it basically, when one thinks about it, just on its own slowly started to develop and evolve to the point that it was able to finally take on its own life, which would explain why perhaps it wasn't able to kind of fight back at certain times, like with Discord's dark seeds covering it, or why it didn't take action when Crystallis's, at the time, changelings, or minions, if you will, took over the castle, Twilight's castle, and disguised themselves as the main six. It could be that during that time it was taking all the experience that it was going through, all these events, and basically applying it to itself. Like I said, basically applying it to itself, and thus by applying what it was going through, it took those moments and grew from it and started to evolve. That's the only thing I can think of, is it took these moments it was going through, it was being put through, and basically said, I'm going to basically, over time, used it to help itself grow, which is why it was able to do what it did to the carbon copies, or the evil doubles, if you will, of the main six. Like I said, which explains why I was able to do what it did to the carbon copies of the main six, the mean six, in the mid season 8 finale. It basically took all the experiences it had gone through, like I said, it was able to take all the experiences it had gone through and applied it to that very moment, to where it just, I guess, needed what the mean six had and was supposed to have, to slowly grow and evolve to the point that it took on sentient life itself. Like, basically, it took certain ingredients that was needed. It's like when you create something, like when you create, like, let's say, the Watergate salad dessert. You need certain ingredients to complete it, to make it good. That's the same thing that happened here, I believe. It took all these moments that people question, okay, if the tree was sentient, why didn't it do anything at these moments? I think these moments were necessary for it to grow, to allow itself to become what it was. And it took those moments and said, you know what? And it didn't say, but basically took those moments, absorbed everything that happened into itself. And then what happened at the end with the mean six was basically the last piece of the puzzle it needed to become fully sentient. And that, I think, explains why it was able to take on the form of Twilight, Rainbow, and Rarity in what lies beneath when it was testing the Student 6, and why it came to the Student 6's aid, because being sentient and also powered by the elements, it sees the next generation in line. It sees some new bearers being presented to it. It also can sense, because it can also sense that, since through the elements it has a connection with the main six and even Spike, that it can sense that the main six are very close to fulfilling their duties as the current bearers and holders of the elements of harmony. And now it's getting, now, as Dr. Wolf put it, it's getting a new generation ready to be the new bearers of those elements. And that would be the student/young six. And I think, honestly, that if what I just said and what Dr. Wolf just said, and I'm sure others are speculating and talking about when it comes to this, is true, then I think it's a good move, especially, of course, with the series possibly ending, speculation on the series possibly ending after season 9. It's a good move because you would be ending the season or the series on a good note by basically saying the future of friendship and the future of all friendship in Equestria and Equestria itself is in good hooves and hands. Now that the young 6, student 6, are the new bearers of the elements. But that's just mere speculation. The other possibility, if you will, is the fact that it could also it's also inhabiting the Tree of Harmony. The reason it's sentient could also be the fact that it's inhabiting a spirit of a legendary pony of the past, a legendary alicorn, unicorn of the past. And a lot of people have been wondering, okay, we know Grogar's coming in, but we also know from what legend has been told, according to the story that Twilight read to Flurry Heart in the episode Flurry of Emotions, one has to probably think that if there's something more, like if there's the spirit of a past pony of some kind, unicorn, alicorn, or pegasus, if you will, possibly within that seed, or within that seed when it got planted, one would have to speculate that it's probably Gusty, who is somewhat basically the arch rival or the main enemy to Grogar. Because, like I said, in the episode Flurry of Emotions, when Twilight read the story to Flurry, she mentioned that it was Gusty and her unicorn warriors that kind of slowed Grogar down. So it would make sense that if Grogar is coming back, and now we're playing up the fact that the Tree of Harmony is kind of sentient, why not basically speculate, why not probably add in the fact that the reason for its sentientness, easy for me to say, but the reason for its sentientness is because it's inhabiting the spirit of Gusty herself and maybe her unicorn warriors. That's one way of speculating. Another speculation is it could also be housing the spirit of a G1 character that a lot of fans, including MLP-Silverquill, has been saying could show up in the series, and that's Majesty. I mean, basically Majesty, as Silverquill pointed out, in his collab video he did with I Love KP a lot last year, Majesty in G1 was portrayed as probably the most powerful pony unicorn of all, just by the fact that she was able to do the things that she did to their enemies. So it would make, in my opinion, a lot of sense maybe if they do go that route, either with the fact that, like I said, it could possibly contain the spirit, that the seed somehow contains the spirit, maybe unbeknownst or maybe known to Starswirl and the Pillars. It could contain the spirits of Gusty and her unicorn warriors, or it could also contain the spirit, unbeknownst or not probably known, but kept secret by Starswirl and the Pillars of Majesty, who probably could be viewed as the very first alicorn in this incarnation of My Little Pony. It could make a lot of sense. It's any direction they want to go with. Even like I said, what Dr. Wolf said and I added on, those could be possible reasons too. But I thought I'd just come out here while I'm waiting for my ride. My ride's a little late. They picked me up, but I just thought I'd come out here and mention, kind of reply to what Dr. Wolf said in his video and kind of give my thoughts on what else could be, you know, the reason for the Tree of Harmony being sentient now. And that's about it. So let me know what you think. Check out Dr. Wolf's video on that. He just put it out today. And also, what are your thoughts as well on how the Tree of Harmony is sentient? Do you agree with some of the things he said or some of the things I said and added on? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. And I'm out.